Hi, this is Steve Harper from YourCreativeLife.com, talking today about the question of how much should you write of your original material if you want to sell it? How much should you write? Now, I've been hearing from a lot of people out there who have new projects that they're really excited about, and they'll come to me and they'll say, I wrote a pilot, I wrote a Bible, and I've written 15 scripts. And I'm here to tell you that the industry is not fond of that. Writing a good pilot is fantastic, and we can talk down the line about how to do that, what some tips are, and what you need to have on the page in order to make your pilot sizzle. It might also not be a bad idea to write a pitch document or something that describes a number of things about the show, like the main characters, the world, the tone, the theme, why you, perhaps the season, and maybe a hint at other seasons. That kind of map, that kind of document can be useful. But pretty much that's about it. You don't want to write episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, except as an exercise for you. It could be fun, it could be interesting, but here's the bottom line. Every producer out there, whether it's a small production company or a pod, they call it, or whether it's a larger entity like NBC Universal or ABC Signature or some of the big ones, those people will want to be involved in the creation of the piece. They're coming on as, you can think about it as perhaps, you're giving birth and you have people who are the patrons of this particular child, people who are paying for the hospital, people who are paying for the medical care or buying the crib or whatever. And those people in that analogy, as you can imagine, are completely invested in the progress and the process of you having this child. So even though it's your child and you're giving birth to the child, these people who are funding it, who are involved in the raising of it and the care and feeding of it, are going to want to have some say in how that child develops. And every production company out there is going to be interested in chiming in with notes, suggestions, thoughts, ideas about how the birth and the evolution of your story will go over the season and seasons. So for you to write one pilot is great, which, a production company, if they decided to come on board and help you give life to the project, they're going to pay you, and then they're going to probably give you notes to rewrite that piece. But it doesn't really make sense for you to then spend, independent of that connection, years or months writing several episodes, when really that first episode, which is the blueprint, is probably going to change, and the entire season is going to be shaped by you and whoever that other person is who comes on board to finance and lend their money to the process of you growing that series. So again, it might be a great exercise, but it's never going to be saleable for you to create more than one episode and more than one, say, pitch document or Bible. I don't love that word because Bibles are, the traditional Bible is huge, and usually a document that gives sort of a guiding principle of a TV show is never as big as the Bible itself, the real Bible, the ancient Bible. But you can write a script, you can write a pitch document that covers these general things, but for you to do anything else in the professional world is never really going to give you traction. It might give you practice, it might be a good exercise, but in terms of selling the property, it's never going to help, because along the way, those people who are putting money into it are going to want far more changes and to be involved in the growth and the process and the evolution of your series, and you getting that far ahead of them is basically going to have them feeling left out. So write that script, write that pitch document, and love it, and you can then attempt to sell it and get it out into the world. But if you do more than that, just know that it's going to be an exercise, and it's not really going to be necessarily worth your time to spend all that energy on things that probably at the end of the day won't get produced. Stay tuned to this YouTube channel for lots of other tips. Click on the other videos, like and subscribe, and also be sure to to subscribe to my newsletter at yourcreativelife.com and to listen to the Secret Writer podcast, which is on podcast feeds everywhere.